All right. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Dakisha Williams, your webinar business strategist, coming in with a quick tip for you today. And today it's all about why your webinars are not, you're not able to fill up your webinar. And so here recently, webinars are not dead. So people are still doing webinars in like an astronomical amount. They can call them masterclass, they can call them webinars, but at the end of the day, it's still a presentation that they are delivering in order to educate their ideal client, their audience. And so what I've realized is that there are people who are having a hard time with filling their webinars up. Had to go on do not disturb. So there's a lot of people that are having a hard time filling their webinars up. And at the end of the day, this is very important because here's what I see. People will do the webinar, no one would show, and then they say it doesn't work. But does it? Like, have you really put everything in it to make sure that you get your ideal client to see your actual webinar? Anyway, so the first thing we look at is the messaging. Like, is your messaging resonating with your audience? Do they understand that you are talking to them? Do they understand that you solve the problem that they have? That's first and foremost. Okay. If your messaging is not aligned with the problems that they have, then yeah, they're going to keep scrolling past your content. The other thing, and this is webinars, workshops, events, and any type of event that you're having. Let's think about the title. Like, the title is very important. I see a lot of times we try to be cute with our titles, and the title does not tell me what you're going to do for me. I'm going to give you a perfect example. When we did last year, when we first started doing our 2-day workshop, we called the 2-day workshop 10K workshop, thinking that, it will pull in the audience, right? Of, people who wanted 10K months. Well, is that really Dakisha's audience? Not really. However, as soon as we changed the actual name of the workshop to How to Enroll More Clients, the ad took off, the clicks took off, the conversions on the page took off. So these are things that are very important for you to do an assessment on. So here's what I want you to first think about. Number one, my title. Does my title speak to the specific problem that they have? Or is it a cute title? Y'all know I get really passionate about this because what I don't want to hear is, webinars don't work. But they do. If they didn't, people would not still be using them. All right. Webinars, workshops, challenges, they're all used to educate the audience, to spend more time with the audience, to educate the audience that you are the person that can solve their problem. Okay. All right. So let's back up, because there's 3 real things that you need to have in place. All right. Number 1 is visibility. It's very hard to drive traffic to a webinar when you don't have an audience. I know. But there's a solution to that. So number 1, you have to have visibility. You have to show up. You cannot hide behind images. You cannot hide behind content. And when I say content, I mean like written content, so written social media posts. You have to get out there. You have to show your face. You have to be visible. I don't care if you're doing stories, videos, lives, whatever. People want to know that you are a real person. And I know that there's AI twins. That's cool. It's cute. And it works for some people. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. At the end of the day, people do want to still know that they're working with a real person. All right. Especially when it comes to operating in my business and help me with my business. I want to know that I'm working. We here, Dakisha. All right. So that's number 1, visibility and making sure that you are showing up online. Also making sure that your messaging aligns with your ideal client. The second thing is I would say is the visibility. Oh, the content. So the type of content that you put out is very important. Here's where you relying upon AI can kind of mess you up. All right. Here's why. We go in, we put in AI, write me some social media content for the week. Okay. Guess what you're going to get? Some generic content for the week. One of the things that for me, I try to get behind the scenes. I try to tell people what I'm doing, what I'm working on. I share stories about what I'm doing with clients, what's working for clients, what's working for me. Like, I want to be relatable. When you come into my space and you listen to a podcast, you listen to a video, most of the time people say, I love her personality. I love how directed she is. And she knows what she's talking about. I'm not just giving you generic content or generic articles. No, I'm throwing my personality in there. I'm going to put a y'all in there. I'm from the South. I'm from VA. So I'm going to put a y'all in there every now and then. But it's giving you the real me. It's giving you the real me, the real things that I'm doing, the real things that we're trying out, the infrastructure cracks that we've had in the business, and how we implemented AI to seal the cracks so that money won't leak through the cracks. So I'm telling all of that. I'm telling the journey of how we are scaling and how we're putting in, systems in place so that we can scale the business. Because that's where we are. I want to be real. I want to be transparent. I want people to know that when you come into my space, I've experienced where you are, but I also have the solution to get you from point A to point B, C, D, and so forth. All right. So that's the type of content that you are going to see me put out. That is the type of content that does very well on my social media platforms. Here's the other thing. I also give you more ways to consume my content. So recently we've had more podcast downloads, and I don't even promote the podcast. That's the next quarter. We're gonna do better. Anyway, but we still get traffic. So we still get traffic to our podcast because people are looking at my profile. So when they look at my profile, they see, boom, we have a link to a call to action, but there's also a link for our most recent podcast episode. So they can consume years worth of content on just a podcast. I've had people go in. Someone sent me a text message this weekend. It was like, I'm just watching your YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never knew that people just sit and watch YouTube until lately. Like, I never knew that was a thing. So just having content, like right now, this content is streaming to 3 different platforms, and you best believe that YouTube is going to be one of them, right? Because I know that my audience, they binge watch content on YouTube. So not only being visible, but making sure the content that you're sharing is relevant. It's real. It's not your typical, like, I'm sorry. Webinars work. Webinars are used to educate your audience. Like, it's not generic stuff. Like, dude, let me tell you 3 things that you need to do to get more butts and seats for your webinar. Let me tell you why your webinar is not filling up. Like, I'm here to solve problems. I'm here to give value. Yeah. All right. The last thing, then I gotta go. The last piece is, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, their messaging is off. I'm literally just kind of, I thought about it and I was like, I got to help somebody there. But the messaging is off. The follow-up. Messaging is off. Visibility. Oh, so 2 things actually. Do you have a lead generation system? So lead generation, then follow-up. We'll come back to the follow-up. So do you have a process in place where you're generating new leads? And when I say new leads, I mean getting in front of new people every single day. I know for a long time, that's one of the things that I always say. I need to get in front of new people. I need to get in front of new people. Like, I keep being in front of the same people. So what steps have you taken in order to get in front of new people? So October 2025, we switched and became intentional about networking on the LinkedIn platform. And so since then, I got to do a recent math, but woo, 800 connections, about 400 that have actually connected. And probably the last time I did the math, it was over 70 conversations. And so that can become overwhelming for some people because some people don't have the capacity to have 70 calls. That's a perfect place to position your masterclass where you're teaching one to many versus teaching one-on-one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not always available to have chats or calls consistently all day, every day. It just does not work like that. And we're getting ready to travel. So I have to have a mechanism in place where there is one to many instead of one-to-one all the time. And then the last thing, very important thing, is when you do get people to register is the follow-up. So making sure that you follow up when they register, making sure that you have a nurturing sequence to get them excited about showing up. Not just a confirmation series. Like, there's so much noise online. You have to stand out, people. You got to stand out. So what are you doing to stand out? That's all I got for you today. My name is Dakisha Williams. Be passionate, be purposeful, but more importantly, be profitable. Listen, drop money bags underneath, because if you don't have a visibility system, if you don't have a lead generation system, we need to have a conversation. If you don't have an ecosystem where you can drive people to speak one to many, we need to have a conversation. And do me a favor, I'm going to make sure the link for our upcoming workshop is included so that you too can join our 2-day workshop that we host, that we talk about how to enroll clients into your signature program. Again, my name is Dakisha Williams. Be passionate, be purposeful, but more importantly, be profitable. I'll see you guys next time.